First of all, we want to certainly thank General Dempsey for his many, many, many years of service. But Dr. Carter, we also want to thank you for coming back. You had a pretty good life lined up for yourself, and you were willing to come back and to serve, and we're grateful both to you and, of course, to General Dempsey. We've learned so much from you, and I can understand why the men and women in the military have such not only respect for you, but such affection for you. You have truly been a soldier's soldier, and I think your inspirational leadership has been something that's inspired us all. In terms of the testimony today, I found it enormously sobering. And the threats that the nation is facing, and then the threats that we are imposing upon ourselves. It seems that we have two threats: the threats in the world that you're sworn to defend and protect, and then there are threats that we are self-imposing through our approach to the way we are dealing with our money. The most stunning prospect of yet sequester, where we all met and kind of bonded more than 2 years ago, is really deeply troubling. The budget that we just passed yesterday is so deeply flawed that it will only provoke tremendous problems in this committee. And I am deeply concerned that what we passed yesterday, despite the best efforts of the chairman, will result in 302B allocations that'll only trigger more gridlock and more confrontation. This is not something I look forward to as the ranking member. I have such respect for the chairman, both sides of the aisle, but we are not heading for a good situation. Now, there are those who say, let's lift the caps on DoD. And it's clear the compelling needs that you presented. I'm also want to look at the domestic caps, and I'll come back to my question. But one of the most troubling things that I heard in your testimony was that we can't even give our military or our civilian defense employees a 2.3% cost of living increase, and that we're holding the line at 1.3 to save $1 billion. Well, you had to do it, but my God, what a nickel and dime approach to our problems. And one of your solutions, again, this is not criticism, is let's change the hours of the commissaries so that our enlisted people even have less resources to nutritious food and all the good things that come out of the commissaries. In some ways are becoming nutritional settlement houses on many, many bases. So let me get to my question. As you look at this year's budget and then appropriations, two different things. There are those who support the lifting of the DoD caps. How does the Defense Department look at also the lifting of the domestic caps? And I'm reminded of what General Dempsey has said to me several times, that out of 4 people who want to enlist in our military, very desirous of serving, only 1 is going to be eligible because 1 can't read, the other is too sick to serve, and the third have other mental health or addictive problems that they can't serve. So out of 4 people who want to join our military, maybe to get out of the lives they have, only 1's going to be eligible. And yet, this is where we are. Could you comment, I know, about what I just said?
Two comments. First of all, thank you. And with respect to confrontation and gridlock, I hope that we are able to come together and get past that by the end of the year so we don't find ourselves in the situation of confrontation and gridlock. I earnestly hope we can do that. A nickel and dime approach to defense, as you say, isn't the right one. We need a longer horizon than that.
And I'm not being critical of you. I'm being critical of ourselves.
Of all of us, it's not a way to run a proud department that's protecting us. You mentioned other departments as well. The chairman mentioned the same thing. I mean, we are defense, but national security is bigger than that. National security, which I have to take an interest in and responsibility for, I think you expect me to, is bigger than our department in today's world because of the complexity of the threats. So we need Homeland Security, we need law enforcement and other things that are not military and not in our budget. And then finally you mentioned quality people for our force. We have a magnificent force in terms of the quality of the people we have, but that is because we were able to be selective from a large pool of excellent young Americans who are patriotic and able and want to serve. And you got to not worry, but you need to make sure that we have future generations that are like that. That's why education and R&D and the other parts of what makes a country great in the long run are important to national security as well. So I think we do need to think larger about the national security.
Did you want to say something?
No, I have nothing to add, Senator. Thanks for the kind words, by the way.
Thank you, Mr.